No, you may have misunderstood me, or maybe I didn't express myself too well. It's not that pain itself brings about samadhi. It's actually the cessation of pain. Samadhi can arise very easily, sometimes totally spontaneously, immediately after an experience of physical pain. It comes to an end. And I think this is associated with the Jain practice. All these self-mortification practices that they used to do, I think is to enhance and facilitate samadhi. And they never really believed that the infliction of pain or self-mortification itself leads to the to the purification of karma. And so, like in Buddhism, they also believe that a certain measure of gnosis is required. They had a different idea of karma and its extinction, but I don't really see that they believe that self-mortification led itself or immediately to the end of karma. It's the ramifications of this. It's also exactly the same as when we say faith leads to gnosis. It's not faith itself, it's just that faith in the doctrine will do certain things to your consciousness and will align your thinking and your motivation and effort and so on spontaneously, will align that with nibbana or with the purpose of deliverance, so that we could say that faith leads to deliverance. So it doesn't mean that faith itself does it, as is the case in Christianity, for example. We couldn't really say this, and I believe it's the same with the Jainism, that self-mortification or the endurance of pain, it's not itself what leads to the purging of karma, but it leads to such level of samadhi that in turn leads to the arousal of gnosis, or also a moral form of abstinence, whereby old karma becomes expiated and no formation of new karma occurs. But experientially speaking, it is very true that the experience of pain, not pain itself, but particularly its cessation, only after it's done. During pain, it's possible to bring about a certain measure of samadhi, but it's not really sustainable. Following a physical painful experience, samadhi arises, sometimes even without you doing anything or putting any effort or even thinking of samadhi or of practice. It happens spontaneously sometimes. Oh no! It's actually it's quite different when we speak of psychological forms of pain. So samadhi arises as a consequence of physical pain, but not necessarily of turmoil or anxiety or fear and so on. Because this is quite a different experience. It's not really pain. This is to be called something else. It's to be called in accordance with the mental experience. If it's an anxiety, we call it an anxiety. If it's fear, we call it fear. And this is not known to subsequently, upon its cessation, lead to samadhi as well. Rather the contrary, actually. It's very likely that it will be quite difficult to enter in samadhi immediately or soon after an experience of psychological turmoil like this. So this is a different category of emotion or experience. It has a different relationship to samadhi, actually the opposite.